Good evening, friends and family. And I'm Denise, president of Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. And we want to thank you for coming to our podcast, Behind Black Business. And as we state every week, we are a grassroots organization. We are a nonprofit organization. And we are a small group of people who have come together to make a difference in our communities, our Black communities here in the Chicago area. And we know that one of the things that we need to do to improve our communities is to help circulate dollars within the Black communities. And the way we've chosen to do that is to support our Black businesses.
Ashe.
So every week, we bring a Black business to you. We give you an opportunity to meet the owner and talk to them and find out who this person is and how they got started and what all they are offering in this business within our community. And tonight we have a very special guest, Egunrinde, who is the proprietor of Mama Africa's Marketplace. So I want to thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so before we get started with our interview, as you know, we have three pillars that we focus on. And one is we're raising dollars to help support our businesses with daily operations, with marketing, with staging in their establishment, or helping them to improve employee and customer relations. And we put dollars on the table and bring individuals in to help our businesses directly. Through the podcast, this is our beginnings for networking in the community, letting you know who these businesses are and bringing these businesses together. The reason we're focusing on the businesses is because our businesses are more likely to hire Black people. Our businesses are more likely to give other Black entrepreneurs an opportunity to showcase their products in their business. Our businesses are more likely to do business as far as services that they need with other Black people.
Yes.
Our businesses are more likely to have a vested interest in whatever activities and events are going on in our community, whether they're for our children, our seniors, or our different areas that we live in. Our businesses have families and friends in our community. So that dollar that you spend with a Black-owned business that is in a Black community is going to circulate.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is how our communities are going to stand. And
Yes,
we place a special focus on our bookstores because, as we tell you every week, we once had over 20 Black bookstores in the Chicago area, and now there are just 3. And so we feature a Black bookstore every month. This month, it is the Underground Bookstore, which is located at 1727 East 87th Street. And the proprietor there is the well-known brother Yoel. So he is our featured bookstore for the month. We select a book to give away to one of our subscribers. And so the book of the month is The Real Anthony Fauci by Robert F. Kennedy. So at our last broadcast for this month, we will be announcing the winner, and you will receive a copy of that book. And all you have to do to become eligible to win that book is to subscribe. Go to rrgbc.org and subscribe. We also support our Black banks. The Southside Community Federal Credit Union has been in our community for 20 plus years. And in order for our banks to thrive, we have to make deposits there. And when we make deposits there, then we give the banks an opportunity to create more money so they can lend and they can help the people in the community. So we do ask you to support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, which is located in the mall at 54th and Wentworth. So tonight we are going to talk about Mama Africa's marketplace. Now, the way, word of mouth goes a long way. Yes, I know we have our marketing via the internet, but word of mouth is very powerful. And this is how I found out about this particular establishment. I was talking to a friend of mine the other night, and she said, did you know that there is an African shop that is owned by an African American in our community? And I said, where is it at? And so she said, it's on 71st Street. And I think it's around Crandon or Clyde or something like that. And I made it my business to find and visit this place. And I'm telling you, I was very impressed.
Thank you.
I was very impressed. And I just want to give Mama Egunrinde an opportunity to talk about, what even motivated you to go into business in the first place.
3 children, providing for them, but I spent a lot of time helping and serving others, and I felt like it was time to help and serve myself. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's great. And in this climate,
because we're raised to think you have to work for somebody and
absolutely,
help someone. And I found myself helping a lot of people and working for other people. And then I was like, you know what? I wonder if I can do for myself what I'm doing for everybody else. And so I was like, let me start my own business. And I have always had a love for African products. I'm sorry, am I moving ahead of myself?
We're gonna get there. Okay. But I would say, I think you're making a very interesting point, because I think a lot of people are looking at that right now. It's not to say that you shouldn't have a 9-to-5 job or you shouldn't go and apply to work for many of these companies, but a lot of people are beginning to look at themselves and saying, these people are providing a service to us. I can provide a service. I can do it as well, and that's what you have stepped forward to do. So my next question, which I was always wondering, is why an African shop?
So that's what I said. I'm stepping ahead of myself. I felt it. I stepped back. So I have always had a love for African everything. And it's funny because I look at myself now, even on this video, and this is how I saw my mom growing up. And she was always I always thought she was so beautiful when she put on her African garb. And I started having a love for Africa, and I visited. I met a wonderful sister, a friend, and she became a family member. She was teaching me how to sew. And I was saying, man, maybe I can, this is something I could provide for my people, because as a big girl, you can't see all of me. I'm not that big, but as a plus size Black woman, African clothes are kind of expensive too. So it was kind of like the love for myself of things, and then wanted to share that with everybody else.
Okay.
And I feel like it's
now how long have you been open? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's a need in our community for the connection. You could look on every corner and see what do they call them? DLRTs or something. What if they was looking on every corner seeing an African clothing store? I wonder how our neighborhoods would change then.
I think there would be a big difference. I mean, the clothing that that we wear, and what people are wearing now is not what we have always worn. If you look back in the past, we've changed our styles, so the leggings and the pants hanging down and the sweatshirts, yeah, that's what people are wearing now. But the fact that you're bringing African wear into the
And not
community
just like clothes, but
option.
like spirituality,
Mhm.
self-awareness, and most of the people that come, well, I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself too, but it was
Okay.
more about people seeing it, it being common and beautiful and drawing the people in, to African
Mhm.
culture. So that's why I called it the African market, Mama Africa's marketplace, because at the marketplace you can find any and everything, right? People
Okay.
selling stuff, people doing stuff, so it's like a cultural thing. So it's
Okay.
not just about like the clothes, but it's about the community of what the marketplace is. Of course, I'm just starting, so it's not all
Ah!
the way there yet, but that's that's the vision, that's the goal, for it to be like a cultural community space,
Sure.
where people can, our people can come in and see beautiful things and see beauty and see color and see spirituality and understand they don't have to go outside themselves. But okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, how long have you been open?
So that's an interesting question. I want to say I had a grand opening about maybe a month ago. But I
Mhm.
kind of had opened up a little bit before the grand opening, so maybe around 3 months now.
Okay. Okay. Now, you're opening your business in the middle of a pandemic, because I'm going to say we're still in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't know what's getting ready to happen now. The mayor is trying to shut everything down, uh, and that's a pretty brave thing to do. So how has the pandemic impacted your business?
Um, I think it made a leap of faith that much more a leap of faith. It's already hard to start a business if you aren't like educated on it, if you haven't seen it being done. Um, so to do that in a time when stores were closing was pretty scary at
Okay.
first. But I also understood, because of the spiritual side of the shop, that the community needed it too. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we are at a place where we need a lot of healing, a lot of love. You can say almost over a year, people haven't been hugged, they haven't been touched.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have been in, okay, I'm probably putting a little bit more on it, but it's been
No,
an
go ahead.
interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
And people are, home, and some people are in good situations and some people are in not so good situations.
Okay.
So as the store, like I said, is not only just a clothing store, but a center, a healing space. Um, like knowing that when they come there, they can see a smile. We have things to help people to feel better about themselves and improve their home, whether that's with the art or sage, Palo Santo, things like that. Spiritual cleaning and yeah, it's been interesting to see people coming out of kind of a shell and
Mm-hmm.
wanting to kind of integrate back into life. We also have a lot of herbs and like sea moss. So people are coming in, they're looking for immunity boosters, and then I always love when people come in and they say, this is a medicine cabinet. So I have like a lot of herbs and roots. I think you saw when you were there. So
Okay.
just, being able to provide that service during the pandemic too has been kind of awesome.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of you're talking about contributions really here, because that was another next question I was going to ask you about. What do you feel your establishment brings to the community? And so
Mhm.
you're mentioning the culture, and you're mentioning the herbs. Now the herbs, since this is an African centered establishment, are your herbs from Africa, or the Caribbean, or where would you say?
So in the beginning stages of Mama Africa's marketplace, most of the herbs are being provided by, okay, I think I'm gonna mess this name up. Obaomi, Obaomi herbs. He's been doing herbs in the community for a long time. And since I'm not personally knowledgeable and I haven't done all the studying about herbs, I reached out to a member in the community that I thought was doing good work and that has good knowledge of herbs, and asked him if he could come and join with me and partner and provide that for the community. So I don't know where they're from, but that is who it's from. I think it's obyomi.com.
Okay. Okay. Now that sounds that's an African name.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that the herbs are from Africa.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now you have a lot of items in your business from Africa.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you've been to Africa.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so what parts of Africa have you visited?
So I've been to Lagos, Ibadan, Oshogbo. I actually just left in February. And there, maybe about 6 months ago, I went with a friend. 6 years ago, I went with a friend, and I met people that embraced me like family, and I even look like them, and we became a family. So I go back and I visit, and she's actually one of the person that sews most of the clothes in the shop. And then my brother, he is the one who helps me with the spiritual products and the arts and things like that. So it's kind of like, which is funny because when I first met them, I wanted to know how I could help them too, right? And then this concept kind of came like, okay, well, you sewing, at the time, I think I was working with the senator. I was doing politics, and just kind of like, it took 6 years to come into the, okay, well, if I do this and you do this and we can help each other do this. I've always wanted to help back home, as I would say, back home.
So you're kind of leading into my next question here. Okay. Because the fact I visited Africa a number of times, and they're making so many things there. They're making jewelry, they're making clothing, they're making sculptures, they're doing a lot of artwork, and we know we have African stores here, and we know a lot of the items do come from Africa. And so, having a store here and being able to bring items from Africa to sell here, how is that relationship operating for you?
So that is definitely probably a pleasure to learn that. Luckily, I did have a mentor here in Chicago. Well, I'm in Mexico right now, but back home in Chicago, I have a mentor, and he has kind of helped me to have access to places where I didn't have relationships. Is, I think he is, he's from Nigeria too. So that's been wonderful. But shipping is crazy, right? But I don't want to let that deter me from shipping. A lot of you can get something from China, in a week for 25 cents. I've been paying like thousands of dollars for shipping because of that. But I believe that, if we keep on building the business, if we keep doing businesses with Africa, if we keep building, because 40 something years ago, China wasn't as, China made everything made in China at that time.
Right.
So, they say one person can't change the world, but this is kind of me trying to, do that.
Okay.
Just helping with the shipping. My dream is to be able to have, the same imports from China over here for us.
Okay. So you're not just focusing in Africa as far as getting your products, you're also getting items from China as well?
No, I'm saying I want to focus on Africa. So my thing is to be like the African Amazon. I think somebody actually is already doing it, but like a place where you can come and buy anything that's been made in Africa. And then you don't have to question where it's made from. Like, it's made from Africa, it's from us. And then, we keep feeding money into, it's like a, I don't know what that's called. What is it? The water life thing. You know,
Okay.
you pour the water and it just keeps coming around.
Okay.
I lost it, but I
Okay.
hope you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you what you're saying. I think this is so beautiful because uh, when I've gone to Africa, you know, when I go to the markets, I see all the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's always, and people come and they choose their fabric. And then there's someone who makes a clothing item
Mm-hmm.
for them, you know, and I've had items, you know, made over there. And then it, to me, it creates some in individualism on your part, you know, that this is something that I like, this is how I want it to look, as opposed to kind of the mode where, or the road that we've been following,
Yeah.
you know, going and buying things off the shelf, you know. When I was coming up, it was tailor made, you know, it was not
Yes.
unusual, you
Yes.
know, the
Yes. My
girls knew
grandmama
how to
sewed.
sew.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you had, and guys would get their pants, you know, they called them tailor. I have some
Uh-huh.
tailor mades,
Yeah.
and and when you see the outfits that they wear over in on the continent, I mean, they're just beautiful.
You giving me some ideas.
Hmm. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful,
It
you
is.
know.
It'd be nice if
And
we could
even
bring that here.
and even some of the styles that we have could still be made in the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
African fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And then you're offering, this is creating not only the opportunity for other people to bring items into your store, but also it's creating other entrepreneurial
Mm-hmm.
opportunities. So do you have other people that have items in your store yet?
Yes, it's funny you say that. Because this is my first business, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and when people come in off the street and they're like, wow, first of all, they're usually shocked that I'm a woman and that I'm a black woman and, you know, not an
Mhm.
African man. So they're like, oh, okay. And then they'll say, oh, well, you know, I do this and I used to, you know, I wanted to do this. And I was just like, you know, just do it, you know, like, let's just do it. So I would say most of the products that's in the store are from, like, this is the first time being inside of the
Mhm.
store. And I've been having some pushback on people like, you know, you got to charge this, you know, you're not a nonprofit, you're a business. But providing that opportunity and helping someone while I'm like kind of doing it has been kind of rewarding in itself and helps me to go like push further. So a lot of the women,
Mhm.
they'll come in and say, oh, well, if you're doing, I can do it, you know. And I say, okay, well, come over, let's get your Facebook up and running, you know, let's apply for your EIN number, you know, let's do this, let's do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's been that's another thing that's been kind of inspirational to me too. I don't know
Mhm.
if I ever mentioned it, but it was never my desire to open like a physical store. I wanted to do an online store. Um, and I got the space as a storage space, and I
Okay.
started hanging stuff up, and I was like, oh, this is,
Mhm.
you know what? I think this is what I want to do. That sounds a little weird, but that's who I am. I'm very like, hey, let's just do it. And so that's how I ended up opening the store. I forgot where I was going with that. Where did I start with that one?
Okay, well, we were talking about other entrepreneurs having opportunity to open up businesses,
Yeah.
and you were talking about how you've been helping people.
Yeah, so because of that situation, I just kind of been encouraging other people to just do it. You know, take that
Hmm.
leap of faith and just do it. And
Right.
those are some of the products that's in my store now.
Wow, a lot of things that other people. Well, since you're mentioning products, let's talk about some of the products that
Mhm.
you have in your store. Now, let's start with your clothing.
Mhm.
Tell us about your clothing items.
So, yes, we have clothes like I was saying that was made by my sister Joe Kay and also my sister Bella. Um, we have clothes. I'm like a I don't want to say a perfectionist, but you know, I'm like, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. So I was trying to fill it in, you know, to make it nice. But we have, you know, I bought some things online, or some stuff is just from all over. Also to offer that variety because one of my issues with the African clothing stores too was they were so expensive.
Okay.
So, and I couldn't afford it, and I loved it.
Okay.
Like I really loved it, but I just really couldn't afford to pay, $200 or $300 on an outfit, so only on
Sure.
special occasions. I have my 1 to 2 African garbs. But I
Okay.
wanted to offer affordable clothes for people who want to dress like this every day, you know.
Sure.
So that's with the clothes. And then I also have African print bed sheets and comforters,
Okay. Oh, I
masks.
saw
I have
those. They're beautiful.
furniture. I mean, like nightstands, tables. I don't know if you saw the center table with the elephants. I have that. Drums, shakerays, bells.
Now, are these coming from different parts of Africa, these different
Yes.
items?
So
Okay.
a lot of things I'm getting through people, like the marketplace, right? The marketplace is that like the marketplace where you have to like, it's a
Mm-hmm.
marketplace. I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of things from a lot of different places that's there.
Okay.
Actually a lot of things also that I have collected over the years, buying things here and there. I was collecting this beautiful African art because I always loved it.
Okay.
So people would come in my house and I had like a whole wall just full of African masks, and they're like, oh wow, you know
Wow.
a whole shelf full of just statues. So
Okay.
like that type of stuff is there as well. A lot of spiritual
Now,
supplies. I'm sorry, go ahead.
with your statues and the masks, they're beautiful,
Hmm.
but there's also information. It's not just a mask.
Yes,
There's masks for there's ceremonial
yes.
masks. So, is there information about the particular mask? Let's say the mask that you have in your store.
So um I've been trying to figure out how to create that balance for that.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, let me see. I'm gonna say I'm gonna pass on that going deeper.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass on going deeper today.
Okay. Okay. But people will ask. I know, like
They
when I buy
do. And
sculptures. you
so like
know.
even with some of the statues. So like I did say it was a spiritual store. Um
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the statues represent like different Orisha. Um
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff is most of it is Yoruba cultured. Um
Okay.
so yeah. And then things people use in the tradition to like worship.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, your culture is very interesting. I've done a lot of reading, you know,
Yes,
on your Yoruba culture. It's actually a beautiful
it
practice
is.
because
It is.
you're in touch with um, the forces of nature. You know, Oshun for water.
Yes.
You know,
So just I
Shango
don't
for
look.
fire.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's a beautiful religion. It's a beautiful practice. I'll put
Yes,
it that
ma'am.
way. Yeah. So now, so you have clothing and you
Yes.
have lots of statues, you have
I just
masks,
wanted
you
to
have
say, I just wanted to say to what you were
sure.
saying. I wasn't trying to cut you off, but that's one of those places where we never feel like we know enough. So I
Sure.
didn't want to start speaking on it, and I don't feel like I know enough to speak on it
Uh,
right now. So that's why I was like,
okay.
I'm newly
So it's a
initiated in
journey.
February. Yes,
It's
yes.
a
So I'm at
journey
the
that
beginning
you're
of my
on.
journey, so I don't want to speak on it too much. So that's how. But
Sure.
what was your next question?
Okay, so we talked about your clothing, we talked about statues and
Hmm.
masks. Now you have jewelry also there.
Yes.
Can you want to
So
tell us about jewelry?
we have a lot of jewelry. A lot of jewelry. The jewelry, some of it's handmade from Kenya. We have some that's from local artists. Lotus Love, Spirit, Healing. She has a lot of crystal jewelry there,
Mm-hmm.
copper. Um, sorry.
Okay.
And then we have traditional beaded jewelry. Yeah, we have a lot. We have waist beads. yeah, earrings, necklaces,
Hmm.
bracelets, rings.
Okay. And the
But we just
jewelry's
starting
from
out.
different,
Yeah.
yeah, and the
I
jewelry's from
definitely
different
I
parts.
definitely play down. I play it down and people are like, "No, you got a lot of stuff." But like
Hmm.
I see it being so much bigger than what it is. So it's
Sure.
like, yeah, but I definitely want to be able to have more more different types of styles of jewelry there, for
Okay.
different places in Africa, to showcase those. Yeah, I hope to do
Okay.
all of that. That's on my heart, but we're just
Okay.
starting out where we are.
Now, are you familiar with Fanta Selah?
I am. I actually
Yeah.
asked her to put some things in my store when I first started.
Okay.
Yeah, when I first
Okay.
started reaching
Yeah.
out to people, and she was like, "Okay, sis, I'm gonna stop by." So I'm looking for
Okay.
you. I'm waiting on you to come by.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Because she's been on our podcast and I've known her
Hmm.
throughout the years, and she does wonderful work
I
with
have admired her
stones.
jewelry for many of years.
Absolutely. So yeah, we used to have a lot of male, well, mostly I would say it was mostly
Hmm.
men
Designers.
jewelers that worked with the um what do you want to say, the silver.
Uh
they
huh.
they worked with the silver and they worked with the amber, and used to make a lot of beautiful jewelry with that. So we had a lot of wonderful jewelers, so I'm
Hmm.
hoping you can get in touch with some of them, that are
Yes.
still around and doing that work, because
Yes.
those were beautiful pieces
If
that
y'all watching, or if y'all know somebody watching, tag them and tell them to come 2100 East 71st Street, Mama Africa's Marketplace. I am looking for
absolutely, I
jewelers.
sure will. I know I will. Okay, so let me see. I also saw some that seems like soaps and shea
Hmm.
butter.
Yes. So we have shea
Okay,
butter, black soap, mango butter, cocoa butter, um, aloe vera gels, um, toothpaste. I am looking for
now
natural deodorant.
is this a black owned toothpaste product?
I am not 100% sure. I
Okay,
know the toothpaste is, so when I first, like I said, when I started, I wasn't thinking about doing it, but people
okay.
needed it. And I needed to
Hmm.
leave it, needed to have that in the store. So I was just about to say too, I'm looking for natural deodorant people. So if somebody out there knows someone local that's making natural deodorants, please let me
Okay,
know.
okay, okay, cool. And now I know you had
So
all.
actually, I forgot. So we do have a product line. It's not cosmetics. Dio. He's a African engineer from Nigeria, and all of his products are food grade, organic. So he has
Hmm.
butters, he has whips, he has pain, topical ointments, um, and nasal flush. So he was like having some issues where he kept getting some type of sinus issue, and they were giving him
Okay,
these pills. And he created this nasal flush for I'm losing my track of allergies. So he's having allergies to clear it up the sinuses, and so that's what
okay.
that is. And then also a moisturizer for the hair was supposed to stop the itching, like a lot of women now wearing weaves and
Mm-hmm.
putting that stuff on their scalp. So he has some sprays for that, moisturizer sprays and anti-itch scalp
Okay.
sprays. So yeah, that's some of the I have so much stuff in there I be forgetting, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I'm trying to unearth,
pull it out of me.
some of the certain things. So now I know when I came in there, it smells so nice.
Yes.
And you were you burning sage? I can't remember
Um,
what that was you were
so
burning, but
I was probably burning one of Lotus Love, and I when you do business with friends, I don't know what her business name is, and I feel so bad. But she has been a dear friend of mine for many of years. I met her when I first started my spiritual journey. Um, but she makes this like incense, like a lot of herbs and stuff. I
mm-hmm.
don't know what it is, but it's divine. So
Oh,
yeah, I burn that when I come in.
okay.
Think it's like lavenders and it's a lot of stuff, but it smells really good. And I also
Okay.
have these incense. They're hand rolled. Um, they burn for about an hour, hour and a half. And
Okay.
everybody likes the sandalwood. So
Okay. Oh, I love sandalwood.
yeah. And then we have the
Absolutely love.
charcoal, the all-in-one charcoal cups. So you
Okay.
have the charcoal with the resin on the inside. So all you have to do is just light the charcoal and walk away, and the resin is already inside. So I do burn those sometimes too.
Now there's this African incense. They call it churai.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called churai.
Mm-hmm.
And they have it. It smells different depending on what part of Africa it's from.
Okay.
And I
I'm
really
gonna have to
like
look
it.
into that one.
Yeah, check that one out. This is really nice.
When we get
Really
out, please
nice.
text me that so I can make sure I try to look that up.
Okay, okay. And so now I saw some baskets. I saw some baskets in there. Were there baskets?
Yes, that was actually a gift. A
Okay,
gift. Yeah, so someone
okay.
shipped that to me as a gift. So I haven't that one is not for sale, it's for display.
That wasn't for sale. Okay, so
I saw
yeah,
you looking at
you
it too.
can.
I was like, oh wait, no. Yeah, those are
Ah,
gifts.
wow, that's great. That's great. I know one of the stores that we had on our show, they had just opened up. She opened up and she had a board on the wall where people could write on there things that they were looking for, they might be
Okay.
interested in. Her store, there might be something,
Hmm.
uh
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, you'll be overrun.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. Yep, that's the goal.
Uh-huh.
It's the
Uh-huh.
idea of the marketplace, right?
Absolutely. And artwork. What about artwork like paintings? You mentioned Dio. There's the
So,
Nigerian artist. His name is Dio. He's here.
hmm,
He's here in the
yeah.
in
So
Chicago.
like I said, I'm looking for all of that. I have reached out to a few people, and right now I'm making some more connections, to bring
Okay.
more artists in. But it's definitely a desire of mine, to have like real art from African artists,
Sure. Okay.
not the
Okay.
prints
Yeah.
that they
There,
sell it.
there was this wonderful there's a wonderful art gallery in Nigeria.
Hmm.
And it's owned by an African American.
Okay,
At least the
what
last
part?
time I was there, I can't
What
think
part
of
of
the name
Nigeria?
of it. In Lagos, I think that's in
Okay,
Lagos. And
I'm
I'll
about to check
find
it
out.
out.
I'll find out
I'm gonna
about
check
that
it out.
one. But yes, like three. She has about four floors of artwork.
Okay,
From Nigeria. Hmm.
I'm definitely have to
Um,
check.
yeah. So I mean, you have an opportunity to have a lot of things in there: books, instruments,
I did speak to
games.
you were talking about UL. I did speak to him, so we're talking about trying to get me some books over there too.
And see,
So we
that's what
call
I'm
it couch.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We have the love couch,
Networking.
and I have books there. So people's some people in the community, they come and they want to talk about things, and they sit on the couch and they read a book.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we do offer that there. Well, we don't offer it, but that's kind of the communal, space for when you come in. You can come sit on the couch, grab a book. We have tea, we have coffee. Did we offer you free water?
Yes, you did. You
We got
sent
free
me out of
water for
there.
all our
You offered
customers.
me free water. You sent me out of there with a few things.
I did.
That
But
mothers.
yes, we do offer. We always have water for our customers.
Uh-huh.
And I'm working on having tea. So when you come in, it's cold now. At first it was hot, but now it's gonna be cold. So we will be having teas and things that you can have when you come in. But right now we just got waters. Yeah,
And see,
warm
that
water and
is
ice
so
water.
beautiful. And see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the way we do things. And it's not just about the store, it's about
Hmm.
creating the relationships. I'm a vegan. And I used to, when I started really getting into veganism, and I would go to the Soul
Right.
Vegetarian
Hmm.
restaurant, and people, I mean, we would come in there to eat, and next thing you know, you come in, you're sitting there for hours
Yes, yes,
talking,
yes.
you
And
know.
that's another thing too. The community, I feel like, is so divided in Chicago. It's so many small groups of people doing things. Like I would
Hmm.
love to, like you said, you go there, you do this, and people running into each other. And I think it's just another way of making a connection. We put a lot of dots all over, and we stretch our connections out. We
Hmm.
make a beautiful
And
community.
And you definitely have the space. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you've got your store when you come in there, and you've got plans for the other side, you know, maybe.
I'm still working on it. It's funny
Okay.
because everybody got the vision of right what I should do there. But
Uh-huh.
like I said, this was not in my plans. This was not something I like, thought I was gonna be doing. But
Mm-hmm. Well,
here I
I
am.
always say when you have an idea, you step forward
And
and
that's me.
the universe opens up,
Yes,
you know?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The
Yep.
universe opens up and you're like,
Just like,
oh,
I'm still look, whoever watching the podcast, I am definitely reaching out to business owners who would like to mentor me as well. Um,
oh,
yeah, I'm definitely looking
okay.
for. I want to be a successful business. It's one thing to
Absolutely.
be able to serve the community. It's another thing to be able to, sustain yourself.
That's right.
So I am definitely looking for some folks that's doing business that don't mind mentoring somebody who's just
That's
started
right.
opening up a store, and
That's
not only a
right.
store but a business. So
Okay. Well, that's what our organization is about, making those connections. So, my
mhm.
mind is just going 100 miles an hour
Well,
while you're
come on,
talking.
get the dots and connect them all together.
Absolutely. So, how are people in the community, responding to what would you say, because you've been there a few months and
Yeah, so they are excited. So before, like I said, I had been open before I had a grand opening. I didn't even tell people I was open. My family and friends didn't even know I had a store. And I just had been open, and people were walking past like, "Oh my God!" I had people come and tell me like, "I almost had an accident." I was like, "What? Is that an African store in this community?" So they have definitely made me feel loved and welcome and like I was needed, and that they were
Mhm.
grateful that I was there. And there's so many other different types of stores in that community that it was
Sure.
nice to see, some colors, some African, some
It's
pride.
refreshing. Oh, I
Yes.
mean, it's absolutely
Yeah.
refreshing
And then people
coming
are
down
walking
the street.
past, some kids, some of them walking past like, what's that? Never even really saw traditional African clothing. Now some of the, some of the little kids, over the summertime, because I did come in over the summer and they were excited. And they come in, I have to kick them out. Uh, so I think that's the community has definitely welcomed me, and I appreciate that, and I feel the love. So they call me Mama Africa. They don't know my name. Just, hey, Mama Africa. They see me on the street. That's a beautiful thing. And then like even the I think the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, all of the other businesses in the area, they have came down, to say, hey, I heard you down
Wonderful.
here.
Because I was sure
That
going to ask about them.
yeah, that was beautiful. It's been a lot of different stores like the Sanctuary. She's down and she came down. Oh, I had to see who this was down here. And she's a beautiful person. Y'all go and check the Sanctuary out as well.
Now,
Um,
this the sanctuary. Okay.
she's like two blocks away from me. 2 blocks east of Clyde on 71st Street. No, 1 block, actually the next block over. Yep, I don't
Okay.
even know her address, but I can tell it's a like a growing community. There
Okay.
people like gathering together. They're trying to build a little Hyde Park,
Okay.
a little Hyde
Okay.
Park over there with black businesses and supporting black businesses. I've seen people
Hmm.
doing patrols and things like that. So I just think that's so wonderful.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
seeing my people being excited. And then they come down, they buy their black flags from me, the African flags. I'm just like, okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So they make me feel like
Wow.
I've been there for a long time.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So are a lot of young people, would you say a lot of young people are coming in?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
had a couple of, they'll come in. I need you to show him what a king's supposed to look like. Show him what the
Ah.
queen's supposed to be wearing. And then some of the girls that come in, I had one girl, she was really excited about wearing something different. And she was like, my
Hmm.
friend's gonna be in Gucci and this and that. She said, I want to come in there, I want to surprise them. So
I'm
that was a
telling
beautiful
you.
thing. And I tied her hair for her, I did her hair wrap. It was
Oh.
and she had a little outfit on and she felt so good. And she was like, I ain't never really did this before. She was like, but ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna be looking like this. So um,
Oh.
it's always nice to see that, that
Hmm.
joy, the pride and happiness. Like, yeah, I think it's pretty dope. I would love to see like an African shop, like every corner, just all us out there making people walk past and
Sure.
smile and feel feeling like Africa is beautiful, and and just loving the African within.
And get those young girls and those young
Mm-hmm.
guys in there and teach
Yeah.
them how to sew,
Yeah.
teach
Oh
them
my
how to
God, they've been asking. They have been asking.
yeah.
I got girls in there. They want to know sewing classes. Oh, they come in there asking for all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
They do. They really do. You having
It's because
classes? Y'all gonna be teaching? You gonna be doing some African dance classes? And I'm like, sure.
oh, African dance class.
Yeah.
You got some space. You got the
They want
space over
African
there.
drum classes. Yeah, they are
Uh-huh.
definitely demanding from and I mean, even some of the young ladies that came in talking about Sacred Woman. And I'm looking like, what y'all know about Sacred Woman? So
Oh.
I don't know if you saw the book on the counter. I leave the book there just to kind of an introduction to, so they can say, what's this? Look at it. Because a lot of the women, in that community is broken. They don't know about, what it is to be a sacred woman, and,
That's
to be
right.
a
That's
woman,
right.
not,
That's right.
another word, being degraded. And
That's right.
so it's definitely, yeah.
That is so beautiful. I mean, look at the opportunity that that you have, and all the things that I was talking about in the beginning that a Black business brings to the community. I mean, you're there. You have Black people working in there. You're reaching out to the community. You're supporting the community, bringing other entrepreneurial opportunities in, and
And I did do a lot of
you
community
just got
organizing
started.
before I started the store. So I guess I can't just act like I just started a store. I did do a lot of community organizing, youth organizing. My church
Okay.
is 79th for Ashland, Ambassadors for Christ, AFC. They had Target Area Development. Been working
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So yeah, I've always kind of been community,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now you are able to take all of those experiences
So
that you
it's funny
had.
because I wanted to do something to help the community, but I also wanted to do something that I could sustain myself and my family. And it was
Absolutely.
like, okay, I can have this store, and it's actually a store that's going to do something for the community. So I kind of, was able to get both of my wishes in one. I think it was kind of cool.
Wow. Now, what lessons have you learned as a business owner, would you say?
Teach my children now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I've learned so much that I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh wow, this. And then I think about people whose parents were business owners, or like people has been doing business for so many generations, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's hard starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you don't know. You know,
That's right.
so yeah, I would definitely at some point love to have some type of a um, children's business classes or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Because I've had a number of people on this podcast whose parents were business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Wesley Shoes in Hyde Park. He talked about his dad, who once they started out in Roseland, and he remembers when his dad first opened up the shoe store in Hyde Park and what it was like. And he's still there today. His brother
Mm-hmm.
is a business owner. I think he sells hats, if I'm not mistaken. The young lady that has the RB Pest Control over on Cottage Grove, her dad
Okay.
was doing that work. Just so
Mm-hmm.
many people come on and they saw their parents,
Yeah.
doing this, or they saw somebody else doing this. So you are definitely being a role model, you know, not only for your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but for other people in the community. Because either I personally have nothing against immigrants and people from other countries, but our children need to see us,
Yes.
working and owning businesses. And definitely there's a benefit to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody was aspiring to become an entrepreneur, what would be some advice that you would give?
Just do it. um, it's always going to be something we need to learn. You know, it's always going to be something. But I think taking that first leap of faith and just go hard, you know.
Right.
Go 100, give 100% for yourself, like you've been giving 100% for other people. And yeah, you can't fail, because
Wow.
even if it don't work out the way you thought it was, you learn something.
Okay. So where do you see your business 10 years from now? I'd say.
Mama Africa's Marketplace, all over. All over. Yep,
All over the South Side, all over the West Side,
all over the world. Making
Oh,
connections. Making
okay.
connections.
All over the world.
Because it's like, they call it mycelium.
Okay.
I want to, create the mycelium that provides the connections through the communities from here to Africa, across the diaspora. I don't know if that's a lot. You said 10 years. I think that's okay for 10 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, that is a
Thank
lot.
God you didn't say 20. I'd have had to get bigger.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is wonderful. Now, we have Kwanzaa coming up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's going on at the marketplace for Kwanzaa?
Yeah. So we do have the Kanaras. We have everything you need for Kwanzaa. We have the flags, we have the corn, we have
you got the corn
cups.
too?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So yeah, anything you need for Kwanzaa, we got the gifts.
You have the mats and the cups.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So stop by and check us out. I'm thinking about doing a raffle for a full Kwanzaa set. So stay tuned.
That would be nice.
So when the raffle come out, maybe you can join the raffle. And if you already got one for yourself, then you can gift it to someone else.
I need the corn. That's what
Everybody always needs corn. That's why I got the corn. Because last year I remember
Mm-hmm.
scrambling for corn. I'm like, oh, there's no corn. I didn't find corn. So I had to get some corn. And yeah, I was looking to buy corn last year. So now I'm like, okay, well, I know people be needing corn. So I made sure I had it for this year.
Now you said you have some special or good quality candles, is what you said. That don't drip?
Dripless, smokeless, odorless candles.
Okay, for the Kanara, to put on the Kanara.
Yes.
That's great. That is absolutely great.
Yeah, because I had lit a candle and it just melted all down my Kanara. And I was, I had to clean it up and it messed that beautiful Kanara up. So I had to find some dripless, odorless candles.
Okay.
Smokeless.
Now, Kwanzaa is so important. I mean, we have lots of celebrations, and a lot of times we get caught up in the celebration and the clothing and all of the artifacts or what have you. But the principles of Kwanzaa are so profound. And if we just put half of them into practice, working collectively, I think Kwanzaa and its principles is something that should be celebrated or focused on throughout the year.
Yes, ma'am. It should be. And see how it would change our community and our way of thinking.
And I could see an emphasis on that, in the marketplace, focusing on those Kwanzaa,
once a month. I mean, one principle a month.
Yeah. And bringing that home to our kids. And so they're not thinking, oh, this is just in place of Christmas,
right.
Just another celebration, but actually following that principle. And then,
Yeah.
we used to have Kwanzaa, a lot of Kwanzaa celebrations. I know COVID, kind of
Mm-hmm.
has made it difficult, um, and, I know
Well, I
you
know
work.
they're doing Malcolm X is doing it, so I will be vending at Malcolm X during Kwanzaa.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah, I'm not a real like event person, so I don't be
Okay.
knowing what's going on.
Okay.
But yeah, I do know that is one thing that's happening. But
o-
it's a lot of things that's been. I think it was a lot of stuff going on last year, even though COVID happened. I remember
Okay.
seeing a few posts about some Kwanzaa stuff, but it hasn't been big as it was.
Okay.
I think this year is gonna be pretty dope.
Okay. So now what do you want the marketplace to be known for? People mention marketplace.
Um, where you want to go to find a piece of Africa?
Mm-hmm.
When you need a piece of Africa, no matter where you are in the world, you can go to Mama Africa's marketplace.
Come to Mom Africa's marketplace. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think you have a wonderful business, a wonderful
Thank you.
budding business, and you definitely are the right person for it. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? I mean, I can tell, you are very
Okay.
sincere, and you're just being who you are, you know. It's not just a hustle, We got to get, yeah, you got to make money,
Yeah.
but it's not just a hustle, and we
Yeah.
just kind of have to start to create our own paradigm, our own communities. And when you go into different communities throughout
Mhm.
the cities, Chicago, they say Chicago's one of the most segregated cities in the country. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I was just telling you earlier. It's the
yeah,
energy of segregation is there, even in our communities.
uh-huh,
You got the comedic folks, you got this folk, even in our
mm-hmm,
communities and our systems, it's
sure,
segregated. Yeah, it'd be
sure.
nice for us to just come together as a community.
We have to come together
Hmm.
because especially amongst ourselves, regardless of our different groups within ourselves in this
Hmm.
country, we're all having the same types of experiences.
Hmm.
We are all experiencing racism. You know,
Hmm.
we're all experiencing the lack of resources.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
wealth gap. That's why there's still a conversation on the table about reparations.
Hmm.
For Black people to address that wealth gap, and it's for real. And so regardless of what group we're in or what religion we're practicing or what social status we're all Black people.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we have a common experience here in this country, and we can't afford to ignore that.
Hmm.
That's my feeling.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, how can one reach you? Where should they
Okay.
go? Where are all the places, the address,
Um.
store hours,
So
website, and all that?
the website is Mama Africa's Marketplace.com. On Instagram is Mama _Africa's _marketplace. So that's Mama as MAMA, Africa's with an S, marketplace. On Facebook as well.
Okay,
And we also have Mama
okay,
Africa's Botanica on Facebook if you want to follow that. And our
okay.
store is
And give me
located 2100 East 71st Street on the corner of 71st and Clyde,
71st and Clyde.
adjacent
Okay,
to the local market, 2 blocks east of Jeffrey. I hope they gave
two
a
blocks east of Jeffrey.
yes.
Okay,
Or
and you're on the
71st,
you're on
71st
the
and
north
Clyde.
side. You're on the north side of the street, the north side of the
Yes,
tracks,
ma'am.
right? Because I was over on the south side looking for you. I was looking for you. I didn't
Oh,
know where
and
you
I was
were.
down the street helping a friend of mine. She has a
Uh-huh.
Fresher Together. I think it's like a Black Farmers Network. So I was down there helping her organize some of her things. She has a love fridge in the community where they have free food and people in the community can just go in there and get free fresh produce. And so yeah, that's where I
Okay.
was at when you came in, and I just happened to
Wow.
run down and I caught you. And
And
I'm
that's how
glad I
you end up
did.
giving me the case of the mango
Yes, because
juice
she was
and
giving them to, yeah, she was giving me
yeah, and
those nuts.
the trail mix for
Yeah.
moms.
Because somebody donated to her space and she was giving, and she know I'm always trying to give something away. I have free stuff there all the time. Like, hey, come get this for the community if I can. I just had two storage units, and I brought it all
Okay.
down there and told people to just come get it. I was sitting it outside the store, free, come get it. So I love to
Wow.
give away stuff. I'm a giver. I'm a giver.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's why she gave it to me.
thank you so much for taking
Thank
your
you.
time. You're on your vacation. You're sitting in Mexico right now.
Yes.
And you're taking out time to share your story and tell us about your business. And we really appreciate you coming on. And would you like to have some closing remarks?
No, I just wanted to say I appreciate you. This is my first podcast. I hope I
Okay.
did okay.
Oh,
See, the
did
lighting
great.
wasn't that great. I should have one of those circle things that everybody be using. But
Okay.
I do want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about my store.
Hmm.
People like you help me stay encouraged, and feel like, I can do this. And, oh, okay, I think I'm doing okay then. She want more.
Okay.
So I guess I'm doing all right. But what you're
Absolutely.
doing in the community, I want to say thank you for that because it's definitely needed.
Hmm.
Supporting Black businesses is, man, it's tough out here. And a lot of Black
Hmm.
businesses, we are first time business owners.
Hmm.
Um, and we need the support, and we need people within the community that's also pushing us and supporting us, and to say, hey, we're gonna bring you some support. We're gonna bring you some people. It's people out here that support you, not by yourself.
That's
So
right.
thank you for that. And thank you for also having this podcast to also tell other people, hey, we gotta support each other. You doing
Okay.
your part and you telling other people to do it too. And I appreciate that. So thank you for doing what you're doing. And thank you for having me
Absolutely.
on.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, this is Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities Behind Black Business podcast. And we really enjoyed talking with you tonight. Please go to rrgbc.org where you can, all of our podcasts are archived. So for those who missed it tonight, you'll be able to go on and watch this podcast at any point in time because we want this information about our businesses available on a regular basis. You can also go to our website and make a donation. We are a nonprofit organization, and we're basically supported by fundings and donations. So we ask that individuals do that, and we also have a online shop where we have some items that we sell to help us raise funding so we can go in and help our businesses provide this podcast and all the other things that we're doing. We have a public policy division right now where we're trying to help our bookstores get some contracts, either from our local schools or from our local libraries. So that's something that we're working on right now. So we want to thank you again for coming tonight, and we will see you again next week, next Wednesday night from 8 to 9. Thank you.
All right. Peace and love.